This is what it comes down to. By 2030, you're not even going to recognize the investment world. Things are changing so fast and things have changed so fast that people aren't even seeing what has already happened. So here's the punchline. There is one massive economic block that is going to be left behind, and it already has been left behind, and it is absolutely impacting people's portfolios. It's making them poorer, it's making them have fewer choices, and that's only going to accelerate. Stick around, I'm going to tell you which economic block is getting hit the hardest, not going to, but is hit the hardest, and what you can do about it now, and who is going to be the huge winner. Hint, there's going to be 3 winners, but it's not going to be this one that you almost guaranteed have a lot of money allocated to. All right, let's get to it. Hey guys, this is RC Peck with Fearless Wealth. It actually started over a decade ago. It accelerated under Trump, and it is accelerating even more now. So even if you're never going to invest in one of these 3 places, it's super important to know what is happening. So this is what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about why Europe has been left behind and will continue to be left behind, and why tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people are unnecessarily slowing the growth of their money because they've been taught to have a well-diversified portfolio with great international exposure. And that is absolutely like dragging a couple anchors around on their sailboat. The anchors are in the water. Go with the metaphor. So I'll talk to you about why Europe's going to be left behind. That's one thing. And the second thing is I want to talk to you about the 3 winners. The 3 winners are going to be China, the US, and crypto. Those are going to be the 3 winners. And by the way, they already are. Some of it is obvious, some of it is not obvious. And then the third is, what can you do? Okay, so let's get into this. Let me jump over to the price charts. So let's just start with SPY. Actually, let me do this. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Let's just get some perspective here. So here's SPY here, and just kind of gander and look at that and just kind of see how it goes from lower left to upper right. Here is Europe right here. I get it. It's still going up and to the right, but it's been much like these huge falls, big falls, and it's really underperformed the US. So if I take the US stock market and divide it by the European stock market, if you see that line going up and to the right, that means the US stock market has been outperforming the European stock market, generally speaking, for over 11 years. Now you can clearly see there's periods where Europe outperforms. If I show you Europe priced in US stock market units, you can see just the opposite. Europe has underperformed this is going back 11 and a half years. Let's just see what 13 is. Underperformed 13 and a half years. Let's go back 16 years. So yeah, basically since 2008, the beginning of the global financial crisis, Europe's been underperforming. Again, if this black line is going lower, which it has been since 2008, let's call that 13 years. That means the European stock market's been underperforming the US stock market. I think this is the longest ever. Now, most of you have probably been taught reversion to mean this is going to get back, Europe's going to take over reins. We can't assume that's going to happen. So I think there's a couple things in play that are happening. One is technology. Let's just look at the S&P here. So the S&P basically, they don't have the corner on technology. It's really the US and China that do. But think about all the companies that are eating the world, right? Facebook, Google, Amazon, Apple, which one am I forgetting? Google, Microsoft, which one? One of them. Like those are all US based companies. More interesting, they're all on the West Coast. So these companies are eating the world. These are the big ones, right? Salesforce is eating the world. Netflix is eating the world. Like these are all US based companies, right? The Netflix of France doesn't exist. The Amazon of Germany doesn't exist. If there ever was a winner take all, it's happened and it's going to continue happening. Now, China has that same thing happening. They have Alibaba, right? They have Tencent. They have companies, TikTok, that are doing the same thing. So on one hand, we have China taking over the world, and we have the US taking over the world. So these are polar ends of the spectrum, either end of the spectrum. Lost in the middle is Europe. So if you look at the screen here, this right there was the trade war, the Trump trade war. That's the tweet that says Trump is going, or the US is going into a trade war with China. By the way, it did not hurt the US, slowed things down with China, but who really got hurt was Europe, or let's just call it really everyone else. Everyone else got hurt. So if you're not the US and you're not China and you're not crypto, you're basically getting screwed. You're underperforming unnecessarily, and that's going to continue throughout the 2020s into the 2030s. This is already happening, and it's already happened on many levels. And so this conversation is just really pointing out to that, look, all the others, there's going to be US, there's going to be China, and there's going to be crypto. Everyone else is going to be left behind. Now, we do have a price chart of everyone else, and that's the all world ex-US, and it's happening. So Europe will be left out. So I wanted to point out to you who's going to be left out. They're already really being left out since the Trump tweet that the US and China were going to trade war. It was Europe that got hurt. So that's number one. The second thing is who's going to win. China's going to win, the US is going to win, and crypto's going to win. Now, there's not an easy way right now to buy crypto, and that's part of the magic of crypto. You got to go have a separate exchange. You got to understand how to get your money off the exchange and into a hard wallet and know the key follows the coins. And so there's some hurdles to it, and that should be a feature, not a bug. And I think a lot of people are looking at as a bug, like, oh, I don't want to do it, it's too hard. No, it's just a couple of things that are new. And so one of the winners is going to be crypto. Crypto is teeny right now, teeny-ish. It's about 2.2 trillion-ish dollar market cap, all the cryptos. That's nothing. For reference, gold, physical gold on the planet, mined physical gold is about $9 trillion. So we don't even have crypto at the gold price. And gold is the old Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will be the new gold. Not crypto will be the new gold, but actually Bitcoin's going to be the new store of value. So we have these three poles that are developing on the planet. And I wanted to make sure you knew what the three were. Now, here's the interesting thing. Doesn't mean you should just be diversified between the three of them. And let me zoom back in here because we can actually look at China here. And what's interesting about China is even though, lately they've just been totally crushing it, this is it right here from this year. They're up about 5% this year, which is pretty amazing, even though they're coming out and saying you can't do online education for profit. They're absolutely going after the internet tech decamillionaires, centimillionaires, and billionaires, Jack Ma being the poster boy of do not say anything bad against the government, even if you're one of the richest dudes on the planet. And so you have China that's still, up 5% for the year, bad when you compare it against the US. But the fact that it's taken that beating means China is going to, when it starts breaking out, it looks like it might start to soon break out of its sideways channel, can really take off. So yes, it's been going sideways, but it is absolutely breaking, moving higher soon. We've been taught this idea that you have to be well diversified in the international markets, and it's absolutely a tax. It's an expense. It's thinking from the 1980s, and it is hurting a lot of people. So even though I say the new winners, the new world order is going to be a crypto corner, a US corner, and a China corner, and then no one's going to have that corner. That fourth one, which is not going to be a fourth corner, is everyone else. Europe being the biggest grouped economic bloc on the planet is going to continue to lag because they do not have the Apples or the Amazon or the Facebooks or the Googles or the Microsofts. They don't have any of that over there. And those companies are absolutely eating the world. And China has built a lot of those themselves. So we've been taught to be over diversified. It's absolutely going to continue to accelerate the decrease. That sounds kind of where it's going to continue to make and slow people's performance down without them even knowing it. Thanks guys for being here. I appreciate you watching this video. If you like it, please hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Tell me where you think I'm right. Tell me what I'm missing, and I'll reply back to that comment. And if you like this video, you're gonna love our free training, Clarity and Control. Check it out in the description. All right, thanks guys, bye.